Hi guys, it's Ricky, and in this video, I'm talking about how I was assaulted at Baystate Medical Center in Springfield, Massachusetts on July 18th, 2025. I know I'm not the only person that this kind of thing has happened to, so I want to document it and share it with other people, and hopefully we can put a stop to this kind of thing. So I went to court, Hampden County District Court, around 10:30 that morning. Was stuck sitting around there until 3:45 in the afternoon. They knew what I was doing. And then the court clinician said that he was going to teach me a lesson after my failed harassment order against Commonwealth Care Alliance. At the time, I didn't know what this teach me a lesson meant, but the the ambulance AMR crew came and picked me up and forced me to go to Baystate. I didn't have a say in any of this. Thankfully, the court, people were nice. I haven't received the court audio yet, so I won't talk about anything I said there. I'll just play that when we get it and go from there. But the AMR people brought me to Baystate, and Baystate staff said that I was going to be sedated and sent to Boston, and nobody would explain anything, which I thought was a bunch of BS. So I got up and walked up the hallway to an area that was away from any other patients so that I could record this conversation and request a lawyer again. Before I had left the court, I had requested a lawyer and I was told no, I had to go to the hospital. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to fight these people because I, what am I going to do? He can't fight the power. So at the hospital, I told them I want a lawyer, and a bunch of staff came over and told me, no, you can't have a lawyer. I told the doctor, I want to record the conversation. He said, no, we're going to teach you a lesson. The same thing the court clinician said. I started recording the conversation and told him, no, I'm recording this. A bunch of crazy stuff has happened to me. I don't trust anybody. And then the doctor's like, no, you can't record in this hospital. And the staff were already all over me. I don't remember if their hands were already on me, but they were already surrounded me, and you could tell that they were ready to assault me. And instantly the doctor's like, hands on. My phone recorded 18 seconds before they were able to snatch it out of my pocket and shut it off. They threw me to the floor, smashed my head on the ground. They smashed my right hand and right knee so bad that it was bruised for weeks. My face was bruised for over a week, and I wasn't allowed to have access to my phone after this to document my injuries. They wouldn't take x-rays of my injuries. They wouldn't explain what was going on. They threw me in a bed, stabbed me with 2 drugs in each leg, and then just left me laying there for hours. I kept asking for a lawyer. I asked for a phone to contact my family, and they just ignored me. I asked them, "Why am I here?" They didn't care, and I was in a lot of pain this entire time, and I'm not whining and complaining. After this experience, I'm sure a lot worse has happened to other people. What happened to me was, just, a piddly thing compared to what they do to other people, and I'll talk more about that later, but that they refused to help me at all. And then overnight, I just sat there in silence. The nursing staff, they moved me to a holdover area called Echo Unit. Nobody would explain anything. I wasn't given access to talk to any type of legal advice or my family for support. So if I really did have a mental health issue, everything that they were doing in that moment would have made it worse. And then I told them about my little dog. I wanted to make sure that my dog was all right. My family wasn't expecting me to be gone for the night, which I was gone for much longer. But anyway, from that moment, I wasn't expecting to be gone for longer than a night. And they didn't care about my dog either, which this upsets me the most when I talk about this. So I'll move on. So in the morning, I tried to nag the nursing staff. I'm like, well, I'm on medication then. I wanted my methimazole for my thyroid issue. They didn't even know what I was talking about. The nursing staff, doctors there didn't have access to my updated medical information. and they told me that I can deal with it when I get to the next hospital. And they didn't give me any explanation as to why I was going to another hospital, why I was in this hospital to begin with. Like nothing. It was just you're just sitting here left in the dark, which I guess is, par for the course, as you'll find out in a minute. So since they didn't give me my phone, they didn't give me my meds. Well, they did offer me propranolol, which I haven't taken that in like 6 months. That was something I had discontinued from a different prescriber when I was trying to deal with my ADHD and some other nonsense I was going through, which is in other videos. But anyway, there was a mother there, a young mother in her 20s. Her boyfriend, husband, was a West Springfield police officer, and she said the same thing. They were just leaving her sitting here in the hospital with no explanation. And then when I got this bill, this is why this bill has been up here on the screen. I've never been charged for going to the emergency room being on disability before in my life. So I wonder if this is just one of their little slap in the face. Hey, we're going to teach you a lesson for speaking up. And then if you go into the details of the bill, play therapy, like what a slap in the face. What kind of people write that in a bill? You assault me. You didn't provide me with any therapy whatsoever. If I did need mental health help, I didn't receive it. Like, you people are sick and delusional at Baystate. It's terrible pictures of the bruises because this was 10 days later. I was able to get my phone at a different hospital. This is my left hand. You can see there's no swelling. My right hand, the bruising is gone, but you can still see the swelling. And this is weeks later after I got out of the hospital. You can see the swelling's gone, how my hand is different. But there was another young man, Jose, at Bay State, and he said the same thing as that young mother there with the boyfriend or husband that's a West Springfield police officer. Everybody feels abandoned. No one ever explains what's going on. They just offer you drugs and then they send you on your way. I sat in that hospital. If I really had any type of mental health issue, I would have flipped out. But thankfully, I've been in a place like that before and I had forgotten what it was like, but it came back to me really quickly. It's just a sick game that you people play at these hospitals. These doctors don't care about people's mental health. And then they ended up shipping me off to Westboro Mental Health, which I'll tell that in the next story. But they sent me an hour and a half away, even though there are places in Springfield. Baystate has a fifth floor psych unit if I had mental health issues. There's a place in Palmer, there's a place in Westfield. I'm sure there's multiple other places closer than Westboro, but they claimed that no other hospitals would take me. Yet they couldn't explain why I was being held, which, well, I guess we'll get into that later. Or we won't. We're not going to find out why I was being held. But that plays into the next story in Westboro, where they won't talk about that. So, uh, also, at some point, I lost $300, my knife, and my court papers. Yeah, I laugh and say that I thought that Westboro probably stole it, but then chances are that Bay State might still just have it because why would they have my court papers too and my knife? And I had all that when I got to the hospital, so I need to check on that. And this is disgusting. They refuse to tell anybody anything that's going on. I don't even want to go to the hospital to talk to these people. I do want the video of the hallway assault, but thankfully I have 18 seconds of audio that shows they just put their hands on me for no reason. There's no conversation going on. These people they just attack people. The other videos in my YouTube, I can put a link in the description here just to make it easier for people to click on it. But thank you for anybody that's watching, and the Westboro video will be next. Thanks.